Hello, I'm going to do a tablet guide for our volunteers and new staff members. So to start with, if you don't have this app on your device and you want it on your personal phone to do your monitoring, this is how you'd find it. You go to the Play Store, you search Avenza Maps. This is what it looks like. You would install it, but mine's already installed. So I'm just going to open it. There's 3 tabs on the bottom: Maps, Layers, and Store. So if you go to Store, this is only if you wanted to download a map of your specific area and just play around with it. So we have maps of all our properties, so if you're going to monitor, we can send you one to download, but I'm just going to show you on where I am that location. So I searched Gaylord, and there's a few, not all of them are free, so make sure you don't buy one. So I found this Snowmobile Trail Map. I'm going to download it. It's going to take a minute. And I'm going to open the map in Avenza. So, as you can see, here it is. The blue dot is where I am right now. And I'm going to show you how to download one from the email. So, this is one of our properties that is in my email. So I just click on it from the email, the attachment. It opens it in Avenza. Sometimes it might ask you if you want to open it in Avenza, and you would say yes. And here it is. So I'm going to click on it real quick. We're not here, so obviously the blue dot isn't on it, but you can see what the property looks like. So that's how you would download the maps that we would be sending you if you needed to do that. So let's go back to the Snowmobile Trail Map. Okay, so let's go back to this map, and you can see this crosshairs, and then there's the blue dot. You want the crosshairs to be over the blue dot if you're making a pin, because the crosshairs go with the coordinates. So as you can see, the coordinates are moving with the crosshair. So you want it to be on your coordinates. To do that, just push the bottom left button and it'll recenter itself. So here I'm going to make a pin. So a pin will have photos and coordinates for us, the staff, to review your monitoring report afterward. So I'm going to name it Office, facing whatever direction I'm facing, which I'm just making up now. Office facing south. I'm changing the pin color. You can change it if you want to make different pins for different things. You can go to the options, and as you can see, there's a ton of icons to use. And if I want to take a photo, I push Photos. Then I go to the top right where there's a little camera button. And I'm a little struggling here because I'm one-handedly taking this photo. You would take the photo. And then once it's taken, you can push OK or retry depending on how good the photo is. I think mine's fine, so I'm going to push OK. And then looks good. So you're going to go back from Photos, and it'll go back to the place mark. So it still says Office facing south, and now it has a picture with the description being whatever you want it to be if you want to describe it, and then there's the location with the coordinates. Now, if you look at the map, there's our pin. Perfect. So, see where the crosshairs are not where a blue dot is, and I can still make a pin there. So, I'm good with this pin. I check it, and look, it's off on the side of the map, not where we are, which is why we want to make sure the crosshairs are always over the blue dot. If you want to delete a pin, which I'm about to because this one's unnecessary, you click it, you go into it, there's 3 dots in the top right, you push delete, and delete it. Next, I'm going to talk about layers. So you want to go to the bottom right and push those pins and the lines, and you can see there's 1 layer right now, and we're going to create a new layer. So every time you go on a different monitoring visit, you want to add a new layer with the date and then the name. So we're going to say it's 11/3/21, and I'm going to say monitoring visit. go. Okay, so now we have a layer for today and also the other layer that was already there. So if you want to make this one visible or invisible, you push this I. So now it's invisible because it's faded out, as you can see. So you want to make all the layers invisible except the one that you named. So as you can see, we turned off the active layer with the pin, so now the pin is gone, but we can turn it back on to see the pin. And there I am. I made the date one active so we can put a pin down for this one, so it'll just be on the layer that says 11.3 and nowhere else. So I'm just going to take a picture real quick. Same thing as before. Push OK. Push check mark. So now we have our layer for 11.3.21 monitoring has a pin on it. And then if we wanted to not see that one and see the other one, we would make that invisible again like I'm doing here. And there we go. Enter the coordinates of a place and then you can go over to it. So I copied some coordinates earlier, so I paste them into there, push OK, and then it will go to the new place from where you are. So the blue dot's where you are, and then it projects to where the next place mark is. Then simultaneously, if you want to project to the destination, or navigate to the feature you already made, you can push place mark 3, which is what I just made, and it will navigate you to that feature. So this would be if you had put in your photo points beforehand and you wanted to navigate to those, you could do that. Or you could not, whatever. Here's the location, so this shows you where exactly you are and your compass. So that can be helpful. All right, we went out to our preserve at the Sturgeon to show you how to track. So the blue dot shows you where you are. On your tracking, you just push play. And then from the blue dot, it begins to track as you walk. So we're going to come back after we walk a little bit and show you how that works. So here, as you can see, this is how far we walked. It shows you the distance and it shows you how many minutes it took you to get to where you are, and you can either stop it, or as you can see on the bottom, we have not stopped tracking, so it still says tracking. So you want to pull that up again and push stop if you need to, if you're done monitoring.